with Pirates. Again, for him it went quick because he came from a little team, suddenly with a team like Pirates, but game after game he became better and better, and we followed him several times because again, and I say it already I think 1 year, that we have to look for a replacement for Temba. One day it will be finished, and then we have to be prepared. So Patrick was with us last time for the first time in March, so we get his chance again now, and we will see. Let's hope that he can take this chance because he's a player with the right qualities. Not so experienced as Temba, not so good as Temba now, but he can become so good, and therefore we have to give him confidence and hoping that we took the right decision.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, at the conclusion of the first World Cup qualifiers, after the opening game against Benin, the way we started well there was a feeling that we will finish that with 6 points and then we go to Nigeria.
Yeah.
But after the result, obviously the conditions of the pitch in Rwanda, there was a dampening feeling that a big opportunity missed. On the 11th of this month, after Zimbabwe, what would you like to see on this group?
The only thing I like to see is that we have a 4 on 6 and not less than that. So 3 is not enough. 4 is good. 6 would be fantastic. So you can play a draw in Nigeria. This is not a bad result, but you have to win against Zimbabwe. The home games, when you have qualifiers, you have to win your home games. And if you win your home games, and you can take left and right another victory outside, I think you are very close. So for us, the defeat of Rwanda was not good. If we should have drawn, I should be happy also with a 4 on 6. But that is not good. So these 2 points, we have to take them somewhere else. If we can take them already in Nigeria, we are on schedule if we win against Zimbabwe. So for the moment, we can't permit ourselves to lose unusual points. And you lose unusual points when you lose the game in Nigeria or when you don't win against Zimbabwe. And that is something we have to avoid now. And with a 4 on 6 draw in Nigeria, winning against Zimbabwe, I will be happy.
Coach, we've had this conversation before about Keisha Smailula when you first called him into the national team, and you did say that it was a bit too early for him to go. There's similar talks about Rele Mufokeng. He's had a very good season. You've called him up now. Ideally, what should happen? Do you think this would be the right time for him to move overseas?
No. What I said also for Malula. This is not the right moment to go overseas. He played what? 18 games? I think, Mafokeng? Yeah, okay, but it's first. He don't have international experience, nothing. So what I said for Malula, I repeat now for Mafokeng. Stay in Pirates. Play another championship here in South Africa with Champions League games maybe, hopefully. And then he will be a better player. You see what happened with Malula? He came in Toronto and there were 2 former Italian internationals. What are you going to do, a little guy from South Africa there? He didn't play 1 game. Huh? Yes, 1 game, I think, 2 months ago. And for the rest, he's on the bench. What is he learning there? So those players have to play. And I hope that the agent of Mafokeng is more clever than the one of Malula, and that he only decide what's important for the player and not what's important for him. And let's see what happens. But I really hope that he stays in Pirates and that he plays another season.
And in terms of qualities, coach, what has impressed you about Mokoena?
Yeah, he's unpredictable. He's a guy is good on the ball. He had a good technique. He can score. He had a quite good shot also. So the only thing he missed now is experience. And you can't have that experience by playing half of the season in PSL. You need more games. And therefore, again, let's hope that he will do it and he will stay with us.
Good afternoon, Coach Karao from Supersport. Coach, I'm just a bit concerned with Mabasa not being in the squad, and I think you initially explained that. But did you call him? Did you call him to explain the decision not to include him? I mean, you know, he's on form. He's one of the top strikers in the league. I think he's got 18, 19 goals in all competitions. Did you at least have the courtesy to call him and explain why the decision not to include him in the squad?
Why Malula is not in the squad?
Mabasa.
Oh, Mabasa, sorry. Look, we had a bad experience with Mabasa 2 years ago. I have to change him after 35 minutes. And everybody said it was a scandal. No, Mabasa didn't reach the level he had to reach for national team. It's not the same player anymore now. But you see what happens between January this year and the last game he played with Bafana Bafana 2 years ago. That was not so good for Mabasa. So now we're coming back on level. But okay, I don't think for me that I had to take him now because I have also Ikram. Ikram scored also 14 goals. It's 1 goal difference. So I give the confidence to Ikram now. And it was a decision, or him or Mabasa. But Ikram did it very well in the game against Algeria. So we scored easily. So I gave him the confidence now. And it's up to him, okay, to prove it, certainly. And we will go on following Mabasa next season, certainly. And let's hope that he can do the same thing what he did now, the last 4 months, scoring goals. And then maybe we have another good striker.
And sorry, my other question was, because he had done so well and he should be disappointed because he wants to contribute to the success of Bafana, did you at least have the time to call him to explain your decision, or you think, you know what, he's a man, he's a player, he'll take it as it is?
I don't want to explain to every player who is not with the national team. Yeah, that's the reason why. Then I have to explain to 13 players now why they are not with us, or 14 even. So no, I don't do that. I'm very sorry. I take my decisions, and if you ask why, I will answer you. That is no problem. But I don't gonna call every player and saying, hey, you're not there because of that, you are not there because of that. Yeah, like Kulu is not there either. He was always with us since I'm here. Now he's not there anymore, but okay. Kulu don't play anymore for Supersport. He's always on the bench, so I think this is a normal decision. But if I have to explain of every player why they are not there, yeah, okay, it's a decision that I made. I'm finished.
Coach, can you maybe explain to us maybe the reasons behind not selecting Hlongwane?
Hlongwane?
Yeah, he's playing in the US because I think his form has been good, but I'm surprised he's not in your squad.
Hlongwane is not a standard player anymore in his team. He's just always on the bench. And he's always coming in the last 20 minutes or something. This is one reason. Second reason, the experience with players who are coming from America is not so good. They are arriving here exhausted. They travel 2 days. They never arrive, or they can never arrive on time because, yeah, they play most of the time Sunday, and then they arrive on Tuesday, exhausting of the long travel they have to do. Then they have to give them free on Wednesday. because they have to recover, and then Friday you play a game. That's a problem. And that's not the problem of the player. That's not my problem. That's the problem of America, that is so far away. And if Zwane should still be standard player, okay, then you can maybe think in another way. But he's not even standard player anymore. Same thing for Blom. Huh? They don't play. They are on the bench.
Coach, just on Lyle Foster, I think you made a big call by calling him back into the team. Just how do you, as a technical team or as a coach, do you integrate him back into the team and make him settle? Because like Pesitao, he was criticized or he received a lot of backlash from the South African.
Yeah, I think with Percy we took the right decision. It was not a good idea to call him again for the game against Algeria. And if he shouldn't have played a game what everyone expected, he will be again attacked by social media. So it was better he was not here. But Percy is a good player. He can be very important for us. And I talked to him on the phone and I said why I didn't call him in March. And he wanted to come, but he understood it. And he said also, yeah, maybe it's better that I stay in Egypt for March. So now he's back with us, and you know the qualities of Percy, so he can be important. Lyle is another thing. He had mental problems. Even I was not so happy the moment he played for Burnley and that we got news from England that he was not ready to play for us. I couldn't understand it, but even Lyle Foster wrote us a letter and said, no, I'm not ready to go to AFCON. So, okay, we waited. And he started playing again with Burnley. So, for me, it was not an issue to call him for the game against Algeria because I wanted to see Ikram in that game, see how he was doing it. And now, okay, now he's back again, and it's up to him to show that he's ready, and it's up to me to choose him as a player who start the game or not.
But coach, how do you help him settle back into the team? Because he was away for quite a long time.
I don't have to help him for that. He was already with us before, and we had a very good group. They always receive new players or players who were a long time not with us on a very good way. So I think that will be not a problem now again.
Coach, the last time you came up against Nigeria, Coach Jose Pesaro was the coach. Now they've got a former star player, Finidi George. And I think at the AFCON, it was also quite a bit of a surprise because we've never seen you playing a back three, and you came with a back three against them, and they looked shocked when they started that game. But obviously now maybe might not be forced to go back to the back three because
We will.
Osimhen.
We will try to shock him again.
Yeah. How do you look in this team, into this Nigerian team?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than the team of AFCON. I think with Finidi George, they have a coach who thinks more offensively. Pesaro, what's his name?
Yeah.
He was a little bit more defensively. And I saw that certainly in the game against us. He was always telling to the team to go back. So, and also in the final, they didn't really play offensively. They just tried to be good defensively and then hoping on a counter-attack or a situation in front of the goal where they could score. I saw 2 games now against Mali and against, what's the other one? Mali? Oh, Ghana. And Ghana, it's different. They take a little bit more initiative. It's not the team anymore who went back and wait on his own. No, they also try to make pressure early in the game. And very close to the game, the goal of the opponent. So it's a little bit different. So we have to look for something now that we can shock them again like we did for the game in Ivory Coast.
Is this where Batusi Obas comes in?
But Tusi is a powerful player, and I was a little bit sad that when he went to Sundowns, that he didn't get so much chances to play. Also because he was injured in the beginning. So I was happy again to see now that he gets his chances again, and it's someone you can use against a team like Nigeria. I don't tell you that I'm going to use him, but you can use him, and it was a choice. Margerman was with us in March, and he did it very well. Really, I was very happy with it. But yeah, he doesn't have the power. So when we have to count on him, he can't give us, certainly not in the game against Nigeria. And that was the choice between Magerman and Batusi. So I'm happy that Batusi is back.
Speaking of power, coach,
Yeah.
talk to us about Spepe Lomtemu's significance in the Bafana Bafana midfield.
I think this is something what changed a lot, and what we saw certainly in the games against in Afghan. We are not that powerful team because the morphology, the South African player is not a player like a Nigerian, so the Cote d'Ivoire players, 189 and strong. Yeah, but you see, the games we played in Afghan, you see that if we try to change, that we can be powerful also. Maybe in the first game against Mali, we were taken by power, but we changed it very quickly. The players change it very quickly. It's not me. I just asked them. But they changed very quickly. And that was maybe the reason why people said to me, you don't play like a South African team anymore. Because we needed to change that. And let's hope we can go on like this on the same basic, that not only the technical qualities that a South African player has, but also the power in duels, the power in action, offensive actions. Let's hope that we can continue that. And we show it already in Nigeria. So I hope, and I want to see it also in the two games, but we always talk about Nigeria, but we will need it against Zimbabwe also. Don't be afraid of that.
And Coach, speaking about football, modern day football is about small details, very small details. You've spoken about the chartered flight to Nigeria. How important is it for Bafana in regards to your preparations, and how does that make it?
It's very important. Otherwise, I tell you something. You can also fly from here to Addis Ababa, from Addis Ababa to Lagos, from Lagos to Oyo. You're 2 days on the way. You go here on Wednesday and you arrive Thursday. Night flight. Oh, it's terrible. We did it 2 years ago against Ethiopia. We won here against Ethiopia, but we run after the ball. We didn't touch a ball, and we won it. But no, we could have lost that game because the players were exhausted. So I asked FIFA not to repeat that again, and they did a very big effort to have that charter. So I'm very happy with it. So now we will fly to Lagos, Oyo, done.
Easy, nice.
Okay, it will be not in 2-3 hours, but it's only Lagos up and finished. And that's what I wanted, and again, I'm very happy that we could achieve that.
Mm-hmm. Coach, I think just a week after you come back, the Cosafa Cup will be starting, and last year you did say that you want to use the Cosafa Cup to get players, because also our junior national teams are not getting regular camps, and also now because we don't have a team going to the Olympics, our under 23 will maybe only assemble in 2 years before the next Olympic qualifiers start. Do you have an idea on how you're approaching this year's Cosafa Cup?
I have an idea. The question is, will they follow my idea? And it will be the league. 2 years ago, we started with a -23 team in Afghan, and we won it. And then we would go on with this team. I think it was qualifiers for Shan, I think. And suddenly, PSL and the teams didn't want to release their players anymore. And we have to beg on our knees to have players to play qualifiers for Shan. So I hope now, because as you said, this is very important. We have a lack between -20 and Bafana Bafana. A lack of international experience. Take players like, not now anymore, but let's say 2-3 months ago, take players like Mokoena, Moremi, and Banjwa, even Masangwani. They don't have any international experience. If you can put them in a team like that and let them play Cosafa, let them play later maybe qualifiers for Afghan, qualifiers for Olympic Games, and so on. You don't have that lack anymore. And when they are good enough, you take them with the national team, Bafana Bafana, you take players who have already not only Champions League or Confederation Cup, no, international, on international level experience. And that can help us a lot. So we have a list now of players, and we will give the list to PSL. We will select 23 players of that list, and we will see.
And you hope you get them.
I hope, yes. I hope, but not more.
Coach, you just touched on PSL teams giving you like challenges with releasing players. Just if you could give us like a consensus or a status on how far you with communicating with the coaches. Have you started talking to them, or are you planning to talk to them anytime soon since the season is over?
Listen, I don't want to give any comment on that. The only thing I can say that there were already 3 attempts from my side to see the league, to talk to the league. And 3 times on different reasons, it didn't take place.
Coach, very interesting. Jaden Adams, I think he's had a very good season. And you've called him, you went with him to the AFCON, you've called him again. And obviously, I mean, Stellenbosch, the team that he plays for, is a selling team. There's talk that Mamelodi Sundowns want him. When you look at Sundowns, they have Batusi, they have Debopo, more or less in that position. Does it concern you when you see these type of transfers?
I'm a little bit afraid. First of all, I have to say, and yeah, it's normal that Sundowns wants a player like this. He's a good player. But I'm a little bit afraid if he's going to Sundowns that he will not play so much. Jaden is also a player who has to play. And if I should be a coach of Sundowns, I would do the same. I want Jaden. I want him because he's a good player. But is it a good solution for the player? When he stays in Stellenbosch, they are playing also Confederation Cup now, I think. Okay. I think there are 2 things when you are a young player and there's a big team who's coming. There are one part is sportive, other part is financial. But it's so difficult to look only to the sportive part, and not to the financial part. It's always the opposite. Everybody is looking to the financial and not to the sportive. And that makes that for some players sometimes, they don't have a career like they have the potential. Because they don't play anymore. Because they don't succeed. Because it was too early. Because it's not so easy for a young player when he's going to Sundowns and has big expectations that he don't play. Mentally, it's not so easy. Huh? And it's not so easy for the coach also to put Jaden in the team, because then he had to put another one out. So it's up to first of all the player, but also for his agent. If this one is clever enough, he knows what he has to do.
And coach, I mean, just to follow up on what he says, you will be with Jaden Adams in camp. Is there a conversation that you are willing to have with him, just as a?
I will not be mixed in such things. I will not go to a player and don't tell him, don't do that.
Advice, maybe?
I will not do that. I have my opinion about that, but I will not convince a player, or I will not talk to the player. This is not my business.
Yeah, but coach, if there was one thing at the AFCON and you kept on talking about it, and it was the quality of the Sundowns players, but also the importance of exporting talent. And we were there at the AFCON. We saw how a player like Mokoena was always being followed by top clubs from top leagues. And when we came back from the AFCON, that window to move was closed. And now it's an opportunity. And I'm looking at you in these World Cup qualifiers and how this team is begging for players who are playing in top leagues and mix it with the talent that's at Sundowns.
Yeah. Maybe in Sundowns they will not be happy now, but I hope that Mokoena can make the steps because he's ready for it. He's ready for it. Sometimes I say, no, this one, what is he going to do? But Tebogo is ready to do it. And maybe some other players also. I said also after AFCON, Colisso is also ready to do it. And some other players. It should be good for Bafana Bafana to play in those competitions who are higher level than the PSL. They will become better players. And you see in other countries, take the opponent of next week, where they are playing. Italy, France, England, all the big competitions. And you see what kind of players they are. So let's hope that AFCON and maybe the good results of the national team make that there is more interest in the South African players and that they can make the step, not only what it was before, to go or to be abroad. No, to play abroad. And there are players now who are ready to do it.
And there's willingness maybe from their clubs to release them.
Yeah, okay.
And coach,
This
Coach,
is something else.
Coach, the last time we played Zimbabwe, I think it was early in your tenure as Bafana coach, you had Gift Links. I don't know if you remember him, Gift Links, who plays in Denmark.
Yeah.
Is he still a player that you're following? We've not seen him since that bad performance.
No, but I think if you see all those players who were with the national team in the last 3 years, there are a lot of players we don't follow anymore. You take a decision and you give players chances. You follow them in their teams. And then, sometimes you have to decide, okay, this guy is not a bad player, but he will never achieve the level what we want in Bafana Bafana, what we need in Bafana Bafana.
Okay, last question, guys. Or if you're sorted, then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we're good.
You're sorted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Coach, and all the best.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Sunday Times. If you would like to. Sunday Times.
Oh, yeah.
It's all for some
Oh, yeah.
Are you sorted? No, this is something that we had arranged prior to coming here. That's why I was saying if you don't mind.
Okay, no, I don't know.
Coach. Yes. The World Cup.